Hey folks, it's Jerry from York River Cannabis, and today we're going to talk about how to start growing hemp, the road to becoming a hemp farmer, part one. And this will be part one of a 5-part series we'll make throughout the entire growing season. Let's talk about the takeaways you'll get from this slideshow. Getting too excited, how to find knowledge, starting to grow, and enjoying the experience. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is getting too excited. And we're going to use a 3-step method to kind of overt this. Stop, think, execute. And this 3-step method, you really need to stop for a moment and take it all in, whether that's getting your permit in the mail or deciding that you want to grow hemp or buying a piece of property where you can grow hemp. And this has been a dream of yours. You just need to stop and then think about what you're going to do next. And when we talk about thinking, it's more of, you know, what do I need? Do I need a greenhouse? Am I going to do an acre, a quarter acre, an eighth of an acre, a small garden, an experimental grow? Are we going to do 15 acres? So really think about it. Security. There's going to be all kinds of stuff you need to think about. And then you're going to execute. And that's where you decide, okay, here at our farm, we're going to grow 50 plants. That's our goal. And how do we execute those 50 plants? And it kind of reins in the excitement when you really stop, think, and then execute. Because during the thinking and the executing process, you really start understanding how much work goes into growing hemp. Here at our farm, I've fell victim to being way too excited, but I've also had enough foresight to understand that there was going to be mistakes and that we prepared for those. So then ask yourself, what made you decide to grow hemp? If you're growing it strictly for money and you've never grown anything before for money, you may end up having a humongous failure on your hands or a waste of money. There is a chance that you could succeed, but most likely in this industry, you will not succeed. There are far better growers out there that know exactly what they're doing. And if you're coming in not growing anything, chances are it's not going to be a good product. So if you're just doing it for money, really think about that. If you're doing it just for joy, then go and grow your hemp, and whatever happens, happens, right? I mean, if you're doing it just the joy of growing the plant, it's legal in all 50 states, you can enjoy that plant now. And if you're doing it for joy and money like we are here at the farm, understand your limitations. Um, we're doing it as an experimental crop with the potential to have some resale value, but we're doing it for the joy of growing the crop here at the farm, but we're also having an anticipation of future crops where we could make money. And make sure you know what to start your grow. This goes back to that think method. Make sure you know what you need. You need, farm equipment. You need a tractor. Do you need a greenhouse? Do you need any type of equipment that is used in the agricultural industry, either large scale or small scale? So really understand what you need to get to that growing point. And then a big one for getting too excited is if you've grown vegetables your whole life, don't apply all grow techniques to cannabis grows. It's just not feasible. And a lot of things that work for other vegetables or gardens don't work for cannabis grows. So, next we're going to talk about how to find knowledge. And first, you're going to go to a local store, whether that's a hydroponic store, a gardening center, and I'm not talking like Lowe's, Walmart, Home Depot. I'm talking about a nursery, somewhere where people grow plants for a living. If you've never really grown on any kind of large scale, or you've never started from seed, you really need to go and gain some knowledge. And these places will have plenty of knowledge to share. We went to a hydroponic store in Vermont on a recent trip, and those guys shared so much knowledge, and it really helped me kind of adjust when I got back here to Virginia. Next is ask questions. You're never going to understand your problem unless you ask other people. Yeah, you can fix it yourself. Sometimes that's better, but a lot of times it's the longer road to success. A lot of people have made mistakes along the way, and they'll be willing to share those mistakes with you. Next is use social media. And, this one you got to take with a grain of salt, because social media has an expanse of knowledge. The problem is you don't know who is sharing good information or bad information. But it's a really good diving point for ideas, whether it's compost tea ideas or seedling ideas or grow techniques. There's certain things on social media that you can definitely use for yourself. And then last is network with other growers. And that goes back to social media, local store, family friend, going to a convention. Just network with other growers, and that's going to be the best way for you to gain knowledge. Next, we're going to talk about starting your grow. And first thing is, if you're going to order seeds, order lots of seeds. Give yourself enough room to make a mistake. Here at the farm, we plan on growing about 50 plants, and we ordered about 150 seeds. So that's a 1/3 germination rate, which we very well expect to exceed that, but we could run into problems where plants die, or you overwater, or you underwater, or you over-fertilize. So just make sure that when you order seeds, make sure you order a lot of seeds and give yourself some wiggle room in that department. You want to germinate in small batches. If you're doing a large scale, you probably shouldn't be watching this video. If you're going to just jump into this and do a large scale grow, a lot of these techniques that we're doing here at the farm aren't going to be able applied to your grow. Here at the farm, we know we got 50 plants to grow in our experimental batch of hemp. So we're starting in 20 seed batches. And currently, we're done germinating seeds here at the farm. I think we've germinated a total of 80 to 90 seeds. And where we go from there, we probably will barely make our 50 plants because certain ones will just end up dying. It just happens. So make sure you germinate in small batches. Go slow. Don't rush into it. This goes back to getting too excited. You don't want to jump the gun on this. The other thing is, if you're not going to start from seeds, you're going to get clones. But clones have their disadvantages too, along with seeds. Clones are great if you want to get a jump start. If you got your permit late, or you have a shorter growing season, clones it fit your advantage a little bit better in northern climates where your grow season is shorter. But they have their disadvantages. Clones can come from other plants that haven't necessarily been tested. They come from bad soil, or they come with bad bugs. So they have their disadvantages along with the seeds. Seeds just have a longer time to get to that point, whereas the clones are kind of, you get them and you put them into the ground. So they have their disadvantages, but a lot of people prefer clones for the larger scale, but they also require a lot more capital. They could range between $4 to $12. Most seeds you're going to spend at the maximum about $5 a seed. So, just understand that if you're going to go the clone route, they have their disadvantages too. Make sure you pay attention to your fertilizer. Obviously in the previous videos we've done, Miracle Grow is a no-no, but make sure that if you get a cannabis specific fertilizer, you don't over fertilize. You can easily burn these plants, especially in the young stages. So make sure you pay attention to that. And understanding your soil. here at the farm right now, we're doing a soil experiment. We're using cocoa, we're using vermiculite, we're using 50-50 indoor potting mix and vermiculite. We're using Root Organic 707. We have 4 different types of soil going on right now to see what fits our farm the best. It may not work for you, but it will work for us when we figure out which one is going to be the best. And if you're going to do an experimental grow, why not experiment? Okay, so the last slide is enjoy the experience. And this really is the biggest thing for people who grow for joy. And growing the plant is a new privilege. It's the end of Prohibition. The Farm Bill was passed in December of 2018. So for most states, this is the first broad legalization in the 21st century. Learn from your mistakes. Don't get frustrated. Frustration can be the downward spiral to an entire crop failure. So just know when you fail, laugh it off, and just restart. And don't be afraid of course correcting. We had a major soil issue here at the farm where we were using coarse vermiculite for our seeds. And even though vermiculite is great for seed starts, coarse vermiculite is not. It's meant to be mixed with soil. So while the 50-50 mix was doing fine, the 100% vermiculite was not, because it wasn't the correct vermiculite. And we've solved that problem now, but now we have 4 types of soil on the farm that we're experimenting with. So don't be afraid of course correcting. And then finally, watch and listen to the plants. That's part of the experience, right? I mean, you're growing these plants, you're enjoying the experience. These plants, you're going to watch them, but you also need to listen to them. They're going to tell you, I'm being overwatered, I'm being over-fertilized, burn marks, or they yellow. So just listen to them, and I think you'll be more successful if you just take it slow and listen to the plants and while you're enjoying the experience. Happy growing from all of us here at York River Cannabis. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel to see more videos. Follow us on Instagram at York River Cannabis. This is part 1 of a 5-part series that we'll be making throughout the entire grow season. So thanks for watching, and look forward to watching our other videos that we'll make throughout the season.